Oh man, unfortunately, I had as you guys can see here on my notes, I was just talking, and I guess I had like the microphone thing on, and it's just been getting all my words as
You just transcribed the entire
I
story.
just transcribed the whole thing.
Fore-play, right? Barstool Sports. We got the whole squad. We haven't had the whole squad in a while. Frankie is back. We got a huge week. At some point before this podcast even comes out, we are just going to be on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. All of us.
As far as you can go, really. I mean, you could keep going, I guess, when you would get to what? China.
But
yeah, we're going to Hawaii, and it's going to be incredible. Great to be back. I had the week off here of podcasts, so it's nice to see you guys here. It's very exciting times in the fore-play world. We are going to Hawaii. We don't know. I don't really know where we're going in Hawaii, but we're going to Hawaii with Good. We just got the itinerary sent to us today, and our flight is in. I just got the check-in. It's in 12 hours, so it's very exciting times. We're just getting launched into a tube, and we're going to land in Hawaii, and we're going to be playing golf. The last thing I'll say about that is I've got to be the first person to ever go to Hawaii or prepare to go to Hawaii and don't pack a pair of shorts. You got to think it's one of one.
One of one. One of one.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to get shit. I know it's like sacrilegious. You're in Hawaii. You're in the islands. I'm going to get laid, hopefully. Are we going to get laid I've never been to Hawaii. Are we going to get laid when we get off the plane?
I hope so. That would be great. I mean,
we'll get laid.
Yeah,
nice
right in the airport. Hopefully,
I got one pair of shorts I'm going to bring on the carry-on. I got one pair of loose shorts that I might slip into if the night is right.
Wait, so you won't even wear shorts if we go to dinner?
You know, Trent, in my mind, what I do in times like that is I just change the color of the pants. I start to go in a lighter trend. I start to go with a lighter color. You know, I actually went into my closet. I said, "Oh, these are nice Hawaii pants." And and as I went down the color scheme of my pants closet, which now I've got 87 pairs of pants over the years that I've accumulated.
Yeah,
I have them all color coordinated. We started to get into the beiges and the whites. I even threw in a white in there. I might throw a light blue at you one night with a white collared shirt. Listen, pants rock. Pants rock. It's pants season, and I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this to upset anyone. I just like to wear pants. So I just want to know. I don't want to get into a fist fight over it. I know Francis is going to be angry. We don't have Lurch there, which is great.
No, we've talked a lot about this, and the idea that you wear pants because you are in control of your temperature and you're the one who controls it, and it's up to you. And I just want to lay that as the groundwork to the beginning of this argument. I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
That's great. I think it's fantastic. I'm the same way. Don't tell me how to live my life because I'm the one in here. I'm the one in this head, unfortunately, for all of us on this podcast. We're all the ones in these heads, but we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to Hawaii.
I'll probably slip into a short or two because I did wear shorts in Italy. I started to feel free. I also was amongst people that love me. So it's different when there's cameras and we're going with good. It's 1 billion people. You know, I'm not afraid to say that I don't like wearing shorts on camera. It's as simple as that. You know, everyone has their little thing. I don't like doing it. I've never done it. So that's how much I don't like to do it. And we're just going to keep rolling. This has been something that's been keeping me up. Like we're going to a short wearing island, and that's what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah, but we went to the Bahamas, and you still wore pants.
That's right.
We've been to a lot of places.
That was as hot as the devil's cock. That Bahamas round that we played. That last Bahamas round was 105 degrees on the pavement.
But you see, that's when it starts to seep in where you're no longer doing it for how comfortable you are because you're in your own skin. You're saying right now that you're hot. It's because you don't like showing your legs off, which as a guy who we've talked a lot about on the show and just in general, like I bit the bullet and you get one burn.
You're prepared for this. When I was packing, I said, I'm just not prepared. Yeah, those are nice tanned legs. I'm not everyone else prepared. Garrett is a good looking guy. He's getting like beautiful women. Bubby, the guy's fucking ripped. All these guys, they're all living in Florida. I've been hiding underneath linen and cloth. Okay. I've been hiding underneath Islander blankets, watching preseason and the start of the season where we haven't gotten a win yet. Like that's what I've been doing. I'm wearing high socks. You know what I mean? So now you're ripping all that off of me and we're landing in whatever island we're landing in. Something that I'm not prepared for. But
you're like the red woman in Game of Thrones when she takes the necklace off and turns into just a hideous beast.
Oh, God.
So we're going to Hawaii.
We got to prepare for some cool guy outfits too. I feel like the good crew. They're like made for
the highest
Hawaii,
shorts
man.
you've
They're
ever
gonna
seen.
have windbreakers and high shorts, and we're gonna come in there just like total dorks with the classic golf outfit, polo. We're gonna try to pack some of our cool guy clothes, but I don't really know what to expect out of this trip. I don't really know much about it. This is for anybody who doesn't know. Last year we went to the Bahamas with Good. That was a little bit more of our production. We kind of set a lot of it up and invited them and said, you guys don't have to worry about too much. Just kind of show up. This is sort of their version of that for us. So we haven't planned anything. We don't know anything. I don't know where we're playing, when we're playing, how we're playing, what we're really doing. But we're getting our ass on a plane and going to Hawaii. And this is, we said it before, but this is just a future thing that you never thought would be here is here. And tomorrow we're just flying to Hawaii. I've done no preparation. I can't believe it's almost like we're just going to the office for 4 or 5 days, except that office is in Hawaii. So we'll see.
Yep.
Hawaii
we got the
rocks.
ALCS going on also during all of this. I'm going to have to keep my eye on the Yankees playing against the Guardians. I know that they're going to be streaming at the office. They've got Ohio State coming in. He's eating a bunch of peeps. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that. He's got to eat like 320 peeps, which is
what?
Dude, he said for every point that Ohio State gives up if they lose to Oregon, he would eat 10 peeps.
Oh.
He has to eat 320 peeps, which are the most peeps you've ever, like, you know what I mean? Like that's peeps. Like he ate 40 yesterday, he said, and his lips were bleeding from the sugar that was hitting the inside of his lips. Like that was just 40.
I'm a sugar guy. I wouldn't eat 5 peeps.
Bro, and now
I've never had a peep.
Oh my God. Easter time peeps are different than Halloween time peeps. So he's eating these Halloween ones and they're double the size. They're huge. They're like ghouls.
Well, for the record, peeps are disgusting.
I mean, that's crazy because you're a sugar addict and it's just sugar with a little bit of food dye on it. It's just compacted sugar.
It's the texture I don't like.
Yeah, but you love the taste, right? Like you gotta love the taste, dude. You know?
Well, the initial, like if I were to close
it's like
my
saying
eyes,
Scarface doesn't like cocaine, you know, it's just because it's got a little food dye on it.
If I were to close my eyes and you fed me a piece of a peep, I'd be like, I love this. It's sugar. But there's something about the fluffiness of the texture that I don't. Yeah, I'm just like go crazy.
Fucking brushing your teeth with it. And
well,
shit.
I mean, then thoughts and prayers to Ohio State because that might kill.
Yeah, no, it's just something I've been keeping my eye on. And you know what? Shout out to him because people, he's done a good job coming in here at Barstool and like really like doing things like this. He goes after Dave with Ohio State and Michigan, and then for this one, he tweeted out all the things that he would do if Ohio State lost the game, and this happens to be a tough one. So yeah, he's living up to it. But I'm going to keep my eye on that when we're out in Hawaii, and yeah, it should be great. It's going to be a lot. Oh, the reason I brought that up is one of the future things that I didn't account for is when we have such packed out schedules and months in advance, we're trying to book something like this, and our producers and good, they'll be like, hey, can you guys find us a week that we can do this trip? So you see a week that there's just nothing. There's no colors on our calendar. It's white. There's a couple of podcasts that we know we're going to do. We can do them in Hawaii. And at the end of it was pickleball that we have pickleball here. So I'm like, oh, as long as I'm back for that, that's something that like, I'm like, that's obviously going to work, right? I'm going to be back in time for it. Fellas, I'm landing from Hawaii, 16 hours of travel. I'm landing in Hawaii at 7:45 a.m. Pickleball starts at 9:45 a.m. all the way out in Long Island. So it's straight from the airport to there. We're talking a 40-hour day. Here in the dinks of the pickleballs is going to be shocking and jarring. Whoever is playing in that pickleball event, just give me my space when I first get there, you know? Like,
bro, you're not going to Hawaii this week. You're going on an airplane all week. You're going to spend so much time on an airplane this next 5 days, like the whole fucking time.
I was going to say, I love Hawaii. It really is one of my favorite places in the world. Oahu. I've been to Maui. I've gone a couple of times. This will be my third time. It is far, especially for an East Coast guy. It's really far. Like, I think it's 5 hours the other direction. So you're just, it's a grind. And I know my flight back is a grind, but I don't have to land and go straight to pickleball like that.
The crazy thing is the times, and we dealt with this with Australia, where we're flying all day long. we take off at 9:50, I think, and we're landing at like 2:20 p.m.
Yeah.
Like we've lost no time under the sun at all.
Dude, look at where Hawaii is. How did they even find this place?
I know. I don't know.
The key to when we get there is we just got to stay awake, and just if we have to slap each other, we got to slap each other.
Eat a couple peeps.
And you maybe eat a few peeps, eat 1 or 2 peeps or 30. You stay up and then you crash, and then you should be good.
Yeah. But can't wait. First time to the islands. First time going past California. So we'll see how it goes.
When we went to Australia, did we fly that way?
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we left LAX.
So second time going past California.
I was kind of confused because do you go up a little bit? Yeah, we did go to LAX. You're right. I'm flying out of LAX tomorrow as well. Equinox EV helps you get the distance you're looking for with an available EPA estimated 319 miles of range on a full charge. Actual range may vary based on several factors. The show is brought to you by our great friends at Chevy and the Equinox EV. This thing is a fantastic vehicle. EV's in. Everybody knows that. Chevy's been doing it for over a decade with these things.
The bow tie, man. I just got back from the Midwest. I just got back from Missouri. Just feels like a Chevy region. Something about it feels like you're in America. You're seeing trees. You're seeing nature. And all of that brings it back to electric vehicles. You're seeing with all this trending of trying to save the planet and also save money in your own pocket. That's the future. That's EVs. That's what's happening. Like the gas guzzling trucks and all these cars that we're going to have to be dependent on other countries and all these things. EVs are where it's at, charge that thing right in your own home, go to a charging station. It's going to get a ton of miles to the full charge. This is the future. You either hop on or you don't get on at all because you're going to be left behind. This is a train that's not stopping. Like we're doing these ads. We've been talking about this for years. They've been working on these things for over a decade. It's time to just really wake up. Like open up your eyes. This is the future is now.
The Equinox EV also has the best-in-class 17.7-inch diagonal standard touchscreen display. The 2025 Equinox EV LT has a starting price around $34,995. Your price may vary as dealers set the final price. Head over to Chevy.com/Equinox EV to check out product info, lease offers, and amazing deals. That is Chevy.com/Equinox EV. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Frankie, I want to hear about Big Cedar. I want to hear about Big Cedar Lodge.
Big Cedar Lodge, man. I've been excited to talk about this. I just got back from a buddy's trip. I do know where to start because I wrote a bunch of notes down. First off, I want to start with saying book a buddy's trip. It's something that you just got to do. You got to get people together. We talk a lot about death on this show. We talk a lot about things like how life is just way too short. We're only on this floating rock for a certain amount of time. It's not enough time. It's really not enough time. And to be able to have experiences and memories is something we just started off this podcast for 10 minutes talking about how we're going to Hawaii. And like, I'm complaining that I have to go there to a pickleball event. And there's like a lot of things that our life has brought us that we are extremely, extremely grateful for and that we are extremely blessed to have. And for me to experience all these things without my family and friends sometimes makes me feel a little bit bad, or I have like this imposter syndrome of like, I almost feel embarrassed to be doing stuff like this. Like I couldn't even talk about going to Hawaii today. I had some family over. We're watching football. It's like they're all just going, like they're going back to the restaurant or whatever it is. Like I that's how I genuinely feel. I should be there with them. It's crazy that I get to do this for a living. So to be able to share that experience, my buddies have all seen me go to all these places and they love golf, and they're the reason why I love golf. And we've played golf together our whole entire lives. We played on the same high school golf team. We like brought the East Meadow High School golf team back from the dead. They went 1-15 because we all played baseball. And then the next year they changed it to the spring and to the fall, and we all played on the team and we went 15-1. Shout out Cold Spring Harbor. We couldn't beat them ever. But it's just like, I have these memories with these guys with this game. And now it's like a year ago, I booked this Big Cedar Lodge trip. When we went out there 2 years ago, I said, I have to come here. This is the first spot I got to do. I have to be able to share this place with my friends. And, a year went by, like legitimately 10 months went by, and it was a long time looking forward to this thing. A lot of guys saving up for it, like getting ready, getting outfits ready, whatever. And it finally came, and we went balls to the wall with this thing. I had a lot of our sponsors come in and like really help out this experience and show these guys exactly what I wanted to show them, starting with Ship Sticks. Let me tell you guys about Ship Sticks real quick. This isn't going to be like an advertisement show, but this is genuinely, I genuinely
Let's go through them all.
They're all advertisement shows.
But yeah, they are, but like they're also just in the world of golf that everyone uses and should be using. Like Ship Sticks, we just showed up, and they just... The way that we set it up was everyone that lives on Long Island just dropped off their clubs at my house. FedEx came to my house and picked up the clubs, and then they just arrived to Big Cedar Lodge. We didn't have to bring them anywhere. Jeff's did, yes. So that was incredible. Like legitimately a life-changing. I vouch to, as long as I can, to never travel through an airport without my golf clubs. That is my promise to you guys, because it's that game-changing. You have your carry-on, you get off at the plane, you just go to your hotel, you go to the golf course the next day, it's right there with your shoes, you're ready to go. The golf course is ready for you, and your bags are there. Amazing. And I had a little gift bag with these guys. We had TP5Xs, I had the hats from Imperial, the whole entire deal. So I hooked these guys up pretty good, and they were very, very excited for everything to come. So that was pre-trip. We go to Springfield. An amazing little city, kind of like a college town. They've got 4 colleges there. Our Uber driver was like a bit of a tour guide. They've got O'Reilly, and the guy actually sang that, which was incredible. Auto Parts, wow! That's in Springfield.
Oh yeah.
Bass Pro Shop started in Springfield, so it's a cool little town. They've got Missouri State there. We drove by a couple of sorority houses that were all like rushing. It looked like a movie scene. There was like 1,000 blonde women running into a house. I think I've seen that on the internet from once in a while. So that was cool. In Springfield, we went to this little brewery, and it was just a great introduction to a buddies trip. Like brewery, pool tables, NFL Sunday was on. Like all the guys are getting in from different flights, hugs. Like everyone's just kind of hugging each other. My dad's there, my father-in-law's there, cousins that we haven't seen. Like just a lot of just like male hugging, and just like a lot of like cue balls hitting billiard balls, and just like it was just manly shit. And like guys are playing old school games, and they had a pinball machine that was a Foo Fighters pinball machine, and we were all going nuts about it. My dad's making games. It's just like, it was very, very fun. My dad's putting $20 on the table saying, if whoever hits the back wall and can get the cue ball to stop in front of the front wall wins. And we're going nuts as these balls are rolling and not touching the wall. It's just like, you're getting the amps going. You're getting the ampage up, you're revving it up. Next day, shuttle picks us up from the hotel. We're on our way to Big Cedar. We stop at this place. I think it was called Macadoodles. Is this like a chain, or is this a one spot? It was the greatest liquor store I've ever seen in my entire life. Macadoodles. Yeah, they had Dave Portnoy standing right in the front with a huge little display there. First person I walked into was Dave Portnoy's face. Incredible. Macadoodles, great little pit stop. We got some alcohol. We got a bunch of Trulies, a bunch of Fireballs, and we're on our way to Big Cedar. This is where this is why you booked the trip. This is this next moment. We pull into Big Cedar, the huge signs up top, right? And I know what we're about to expect, but no one else does. And the first drive through Big Cedar, when you're going up to the Paynes Valley area, right? Because Big Cedar has all these different areas, wildlife. They've got the cottages all the way down below where you can stay with families. They've got like rock climbing and adventure life, and down by the water. I mean, they own land from where Big Cedar is down to Arkansas. It's crazy how much land they own. But when you pull in towards that like mountaintop, that first check-in, there's a drive that you're going through, kind of like you see a couple of houses, you see some real, that you're going up, and you see that you're going above the trees. And it was the perfect time. It was like 11 o'clock. Everything's super bright. There's no fog. It's the sunniest day. There's not a cloud in the sky. And we make this one turn, and all of a sudden the green just appears from Paynes Valley, just moving all the way up to this amazing clubhouse, just appearing on top of it, a vista with nothing behind it. And everyone on this shuttle went nuts. This was like, this was a reveal, man. Like the trees stopped, you hit it. And I want to tell you, this reveal has gotten better since we went. They are making a new par 3 course above Paynes Valley called Cliffhangers. And it literally, all the grass and all those crazy rigid rocks that were above the 18th hole of Paynes Valley is now these like ridiculous mounds of green. It looks so fake. You can't believe that they were able to grow grass like this. And it looks like, and the hills are going all the way up from the down view. It's incredible. It's opening up soon. I can't believe that they have added that to the Paynes Valley area. So anyway, we're driving through. Guys are hugging each other. They're coming up to me, we're driving up to this clubhouse, putting their hands on my neck. You know, Hannah's like Uncle Mark, puts his hand on my neck and like real aggressively, he's like, thank you. You know, like they're looking at a golf course. That's all they're doing is just, and they're crying. My dad is in the back going, wow. And he said, wow, to the point where his voice started to like crack a little bit. It's just like, I was sitting there with this feeling of like, I had this idea to do this with my buddies and my family. And that moment right there, it's exactly what I pictured. It's exactly what I wanted. Everything was going right. We pull up and the first, so that was the first peak. I wrote here, guys tearing up, dad crying, hugging me in shuttle. This is what I wrote when I was there. Par 3 cliffhangers, blah, blah, blah. Ozark National was our first golf course. I don't know if you can find a better golf course to start out at. Not a cloud in the sky. We picked teams. We had team uniforms. Everyone was excited to get out there. First tee shots were incredible. This is everyone's first golf trip that they're going on. So like the competition was up. We did handicaps. All the teams were extremely fair. Like everyone was ready to go. We had an 80-year-old facing Big Rob. Like this was like, that's why golf's the best. The Big E, the 80-year-old could face off against Big Rob, who's like losing his teeth in his ham sandwich. And went to Turkey to get a hair plug. He looks incredible. Big Rob looks unbelievable. But that's just what it is. That's what it is. That's what the camaraderie is all about. Anyone can play. Anyone can go. Ozark National is wide open. Literally anyone can play that kind of golf course. But it is challenging. It is a challenging golf course. I don't know if that one's the Core Crenshaw one or if that.
Yeah, that's the Core Crenshaw. And I think that's probably the hardest one there.
It is the hardest one. But Buffalo Ridge also is pretty tough. But like the greens are tough. But it's definitely doable off the tee, and like you could see that. So a couple of the groups played a shamble, like I know my dad's group did, and you're able to kind of like just move on. You're hitting good shots, people are staying in play, and it was just a great opening day. And the thing I'll say about Big Cedar is, and the reason why I loved it so much is once we were done, and right before we were done, I'll get to what we needed to really kick off this first night was the final group was coming down. They weren't the best golfers. They're guys that like were teetering on not coming, and we didn't know if they were going to come. They hadn't played a lot of golf coming in. This group came down all square into 18, and cousin Danny, who was like the last addition to the show, to the trip, he hits a game-winning, match-winning putt at Ozark National with the entire crew around him. And like I looked around, I got the video. They're holding each other up. Cousin Greg, cousin Danny, two different sides of the family, grabbing each other, and they're just like they're celebrating like they just won the World Series, like they just won the Ryder Cup. And I looked around being like, this is all happening. Exactly. Like these guys are getting the experience. They're doing it. Like big putts are being made. Drinks are getting thrown in the air. Hugs are fucking happening at an 18. Like this is only just night one. You walk off the 18th green at Big Cedar Lodge, you're getting right into a shuttle. You go from the shuttle right up to top of the rock. The sun is setting. The cannons are getting fired off. You have dinner at the Osage. It's the best dinner you've ever seen. You go to top of the rock. You go to the basement. I think we did this, guys. I think me and Trent did this. Someone farted in our face.
Guy farted right on me.
We were going down the steps, and you can find the wine cellar. It's all the way down all these steps. And down in the wine cellar is this whiskey tasting bar that there were a lot of guys that loved themselves some brown stuff. They love the hard stuff, and they found this place, and they're ordering ridiculous bottles of whiskey, and they're tasting it, and the servers like loving that this like big group came in. And then right beyond that is that crazy statue that's happening outside of Osage on top of the rock. And we're looking at that and everyone's like, what's happening? My dad took us all to the little church down there. There was a little church right next to the top of the rock, and we're all walking through this chapel, and it felt like otherworldly. You could almost feel God in the room. We were like, this is crazy, overlooking the lakes. The sun is setting, dinner's ready. We go up there, everyone's cheersing, we're making speeches. Like, it was hard to not get emotional every single moment because everything was going so well. I continuously got emotional, even like behind closed doors, like each night, because I'm like, man, like I didn't think my dad was gonna be able to do this. I didn't think that I was able to get all the family together. My dad just had the surgery. Other people had a lot of things going on in their life. People made a lot of adjustments. They really like grinded to get here, and everything's working. They're thanking me. I mean, they all paid, right? Like they're all I kept saying, like, why are you guys like thanking me? They're like, well, we never would have gotten it like together. I'm like, but you guys all did this. Like, everyone here is here for a reason. We all fucking paid. We all like worked hard to get here, and we're all in a situation where we're able to go away for a week and play golf. Like, it was just, everyone, like all my friends, everyone's just like getting emotional and shit. It was bizarre, but that's what it's all about, and that's why I love it.
Fall is officially here, and the temperatures are dropping quickly, which is nice crisp in the air in the evenings and the mornings. With winter sneaking up on us, it's time to make sure your wardrobe is up to par. That's why we want to tell you about our outerwear line from our friends at Peter Millar, the All Course. The All Course line. The lineup features a vest, a jacket, a full zip hoodie that provides plenty of warmth thanks to loose fill insulation. This stuff is really good because playing golf forever when you have different layers on used to be kind of a nuisance, used to not be able to swing. Peter Millar makes all the different layers so nicely that you don't even notice you have them on.
Got to layer up. There's no better time to be me right now. Layering up makes you look real good. Everyone's wearing pants. You feel normal. Got that nice cool breeze in the air. I love to layer up. I love the browns. I love all the different types of shades of brown and beige, and I love the fall foliage. And I wear this out to dinner. I wear a nice khaki pant with a dark brown outer sweater, and then a nice jacket. I got all Peter Millar head to toe. Fall, I'm all Peter Millar. I might as well change my name to Peter.
Do it. Well, Peter, this stuff is perfect for cool weather rounds or out on the town. The All Course is aptly named, designed for easy, lightweight wear. The All Course also features a windproof construction and water resistant, perfect for drizzly days. Be sure to check out the All Course outerwear and the rest of Peter Millar's line at www.petermillar.com/foreplay. That is petermillar.com/foreplay.
Oh man, unfortunately, I had as you guys can see here on my notes, I was just talking, and I guess I had like the microphone thing on, and it's just been getting all my words as I.
You just transcribed the entire story.
I just transcribed the whole thing.
Incredible.
So here we go.
That's great.
Walking out of the wine cellar, whiskey tasting bar. We could see the Milky Way. That was a big thing. We were looking up. You could actually see the Milky Way up there with the stars, which was a huge conversation. Then we also talked about flying at the speed of light, and if that's only what we can perceive, right? Like only humans can perceive the speed of light. That's our rules.
Mm-hmm.
So someone else just might have other rules that they've broken, and they can get here faster. Because everyone was like, well, if that star's a million light years away, they're never gonna get here. But I'm like, but that's our rules of speed of light. You know what I mean?
With that too. I agree with that too. I think it's preposterous to think, because everything's too big. You have to be able to go faster than that at some level. You have to.
But then we had a couple guys being like, but it's statistically proven that that's as fast as you go. But I kept saying all these words, even the word statistically, is something that we made up. You know what I mean? All these things.
If you ran into these other people that you're referring to, and you told them the speed of light, they'd be like, I don't know what that means.
Right. We don't know any of the stuff that you're saying because we're not from any of that. Even the word that, we don't know what.
Even this conversation that we would potentially be having with them, it wouldn't happen.
That's 100% correct. So it was 2-2 going into day 2, which is great. We're playing Paynes Valley the next day. We set up the best golfers together as me against my buddy Tom, who in the introductory email, I said, if I lose to Tom, I'm going to quit the game of golf forever. We're playing Paynes Valley. Tom is just
by the way. I've played with Tom probably 3 times.
Yeah.
And every time I play with him, I think to myself, oh, this guy plays golf 3 times a week, and he's incredible. And it's really a joy to just watch a guy who actually has real skill and real talent play the game of golf. Guy plays twice a year, and he just absolutely is awesome at the game of golf.
He plays legitimately 10 times a year and holds a 4 handicap. So if he would have...
It's crazy.
If he plays 100 times a year, he'd be the best golfer in the world. It's an effortless swing. And this is something... I know I'm talking a lot about my group of buddies, which is not...
Keep going.
Not
everybody. This is what
hopefully everyone
do.
has a buddy Tom in their group. But when I'm facing someone in a match and they have that smooth of action and they effortlessly hit it that far, it affects my game to the point where I stopped watching him hit the ball. I couldn't do it. I literally would try and copy him or mimic him, or then I would try and swing out of my shoes to get it as far as him, because it was frustrating me that he was just launching these balls down the middle 310. And I'm like, what's happening? Why can't I do any of the stuff that Tom is doing? So whatever, Paynes Valley comes and goes. Still one of my top. I think it's in my top 5 of golf courses in the country, playability wise, views wise. the dill pickle peanuts in the big house, like that big halfway house, are the best peanuts I've ever had in my entire life. They are dill pickle flavored, salted. They are the best, crunchiest peanuts I've ever had in my entire life. So Paynes Valley came down to 18 in that group, and we ended up winning. Me and my partner Kyle ended up beating Tom and Andrew. An amazing day. We're coming up 18. We're the final. Yep, it was a huge win. The final group we were. So everyone, all other 12 golfers are waiting on that 19th hole overlooking 18. They're waiting for us to hit that tiger shot, that 19th shot within that dome of all those rocks. So Big Cedar Lodge let us have 16 guys on that tee box. Like, we were able to move it all quick enough that we all were up there closest to the pin. Now we're doing a closest to the pin competition. I hit one to like 10 feet. Cousin Greg on the last shot hits one to like 7 feet. Place goes crazy. Awesome for Cousin Greg. He ends up winning close to the pin. We're going nuts. We're having the time of our lives. We're doing the whole drive up. Super fun. And right from there, shuttle ready to take us to Top of the Rock. Now we're about to go play one of the best par 3 golf courses in the world. This is what I'm saying. This is what, like, it never ends. It feels like Disney World, where you're getting from one ride to the next. And that's what my buddies all kept saying. They're like, we were fed enough. We had enough drinks. There was always a ride waiting for us, and we always had the next thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, there was always something to do and look forward to the whole entire trip. There was never a down moment, which is also kind of a negative in the fact that we had the coolest cottage overlooking one of Paynes Valley that we didn't even get that much time there because we were doing so many other cool things. So yeah, it goes to Top of the Rock. We ended up doing a 2-man scramble there. It's a lot of golf for some guys to be playing like back-to-back rounds of golf. So much fun. And I call it the nicest par 3, the best par 3 in the world. The holes out there are insane. There's a difference between that and all the other short par 3s. Like, you go and play Cradle, or like even the one at Bandon, which is like the Preserve, I think it is. Like, they're just really, really short holes, and they're all right next to each other, and you can kind of walk them, and you can have those little bags with you, and you can take just like a pitching wedge and a putter, and you can have a day, which is great for what it is. It's actually amazing for that type of category of par 3. But then you have Top of the Rock, where there's carts, and like the older guys are still hitting 3-woods into a 220-yard par 3, and the holes look like Augusta National, where like there are these ridiculously high trees and these glass water fixtures going up towards these greens, and the bunkering is huge. And it's just every single hole, every single guy's taking a picture. I think the second hole has like 100-foot drop off from the tee box, and you're like, I don't get to play holes like this ever. This is ridiculous. So that was a lot of fun. Go right into dinner. So from right there, we have a shuttle take us to. We end up stopping at like a bunch of fast foods place. There was one spot where there was like a McDonald's and a Taco Bell right next to each other, and half the group went one way, half the group went the other way. We bought as much as we possibly could, got back on the shuttle, brought it back to the cottage. The cottage had a pool, had a putting green, a real putting green, a real grass one with a bunch of holes. They brought us lights. Shout out to all the Big Cedar people that were like, we didn't have like our putters or anything, and they had them waiting for us because like all of our bags are ready for the next day. So it's just like, they didn't miss a beat, and we're eating Taco Bell, and we're doing all these things, and everyone's having drinks. We have a fireball putting contest, so you had to rip the nip and make the putt, and that was worth a point for the entire week. We go 15 misses. I came up for the 16th and drilled it. They all dogpile me. Like, it was just the best moment ever. My dad's crying, I'm crying, we're hugging each other. We have the best night, sitting around, telling stories, doing the dozen in a place like Big Cedar with 16 men that know sports and no history. And we ripped like 100 games of the dozen.
Yeah.
And like, everyone's like, give me another one. And we're taking shots. We're drinking whiskey. We're drinking all these stuff. It was so much fun. Again, tears are flowing. We're just getting so excited. And so after the par 3, after Paynes, after Ozarks, and after the putting contest, it was 6.5 to 5.5. Oh, 6.5 going into the last day, which is just as good as it gets. We're playing Buffalo Ridge, which aside from just like how nice Paynes Valley is for me, how much I like that aesthetic, I think Buffalo Ridge might be one of the most beautiful golf courses in the damn country, man.
All those covered bridges. All those
oh my God, that place is Disney. Like, that's like old Disney almost, like where they have just the bridges. They don't have like all the glitz and the glamour, but you just know that someone placed this stuff here for a reason. Really, really great. It was singles, so it was me versus my buddy Tom. I'll give Tom his credit here. So I ended up giving Tom. So Tom came in as like a 5.9. I was like a 4.1. I gave Tom 2. So we're coming down 18. I was down 1 going into 17, and I tied it up on 17. I fired a dart in there, made a birdie. And like
Clutch.
my heart is like in my throat because now like it means everything, right? Like we don't know where the other matches are. We're the first match off because I wanted to be around everyone after. And my partner's losing, so I know Team White has a win up there. And I'm all square with Tom going up to 18 after this incredible week. Tears everywhere. I've been talking about tears. There's a lot of tears. We're walking up 18.
And, I love you, man.
He pipes a drive. 18 at Buffalo Ridge is a par 5. He pipes a drive right down the middle, and I stepped up and hit the best drive of my life. Like I outdrove him by like 25 yards, right? So he has about 265 in, and I have 240 in. He goes first and lays up. Perfect little 6-iron right down the middle to maybe 110 yards out, maybe 90 yards out. And I have a 5-wood in my hand. You guys know how much I've been hitting that thing. I hit it with Tiger Woods. I think it's about a 230 club, 235 club. And I'm standing over this ball, and I look at Hannah's uncle Mark, who played with us, great guy, amazing golfer. And I said, I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. I couldn't see anymore. Like the vision was kind of blurry. Like it meant so much. Like I don't know what it was. I wanted to hit I was going for it. You know, this is the story. One guy lays up. This is the Dustin Johnson, Justin Speed story. He laid up. I got to go for this. There's huge bunkers on the right. And if you guys know this 18th fair green, it's dead left, dead. It's a cliff behind and to the left, completely dead. So I go for this thing, and I did like this walk through, follow through thing. It was kind of a weird follow through. I think I was just so nervous, and it was going right towards the pin. And like, I almost could hear the noise of like, doon, 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 doon. And then it started to draw just a little bit and caught the green side bunker, which to me, I was like, all right, I feel good about that. I'm a pretty good bunker player. He's 100 yards out. I have a little bunker shot. I've already gotten past the ridge where the pin is, so I can just keep this thing up here, get it up, and probably make a birdie. At worst, I make a par, and we push this round. I don't think he's going to make a birdie from where he is. I just felt it. So now I go up to the bunker, right? Tom hits his below the ridge, so he has a tough birdie putt up this huge slope. I'm in the bunker. I look at my bunker ball. It's on the slant. It never came down from the wall of the bunker. It's like this, like that steep. So now as a lefty, I have 1 foot up in the grass and the other foot 3 feet like of elevation difference. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to hit this ball. And I'm standing over it, and I'm doing a lot of waggles with my wrist. And I'm really trying to say, like, don't just hammer this thing into the bunker. Just like really figure out how to just nip this thing up. I was almost thinking about putting it because it's such a fine, like built-in bunker that you might even, now that I think about it, you might even be able to skip it up there and just get it on. So I took the 54 degree because I was nervous about 60 degree. I take a 54 degree, and everyone's watching me, all my group, and they know how much this means to me because I wrote it in the fucking introductory email. And I'm like standing over there, and I take the club back, I make contact, and the ball goes 200 yards into the trees.
Yeah.
And I drop the club in the bunker. Sick. And I put my head down and go, good match, Tom. And I heard them kind of give each other like a little dap in the background. And I'm just kind of, I'm just raking the bunker. I throw a ball down in the bunker because now I'm like, all right, now I have to hit another shot. If I hole it out, maybe I do something. Next one, I just hit over the green, and I end up making an 8, and he made a 5, and I lost the match, and I lost the whole day. So that was really tough, That was really tough. So shout out to Tom,
Yep. Shout out to Tom, dude.
Tom.
Great par, man. Great
really
par.
tough. Wow. And so it ends up coming down to the final group. All right. It was there are a couple big putts as the group started coming. A couple big putts happened. I think 3 out of the 4 groups, it came down to the last hole, or the last like a lot of the pairings came down to the last hole, but 3 out of the 4 waves that came in, there was a match in there that came down to the last hole. And it ended up coming down to Big Rob versus my friend Jeff. Big Rob had lost he's on Team White, I'm on Team Blue. He lost a 4-hole lead after 10. So he was up 4. So now they're coming down, and it's 2 of the worst golfers that we have. And we're trying to all pay attention to where they're at. This is for the rip and sip. This is it. This is the championship. If Jeff pushes or beats Rob, we win. If Rob beats Jeff, they push the whole entire tournament, and we got to figure out a playoff. So Rob is in the middle of the fairway. They're both hitting the ball sideways. Rob hits one out of bounds. Jeff hits one out of bounds. We're like, what are you guys sitting? They're sitting like 6 in front of the green bowl. They're both knocking the balls up. Turns out Jeff beats Rob with like a 7-foot putt. Rob ends up losing a 4-hole lead, loses on 18 because Jeff made an 8, Rob made a 9. Talk about a winning hole to make a triple and you beat a fucking quad. Which is, there's no better way that I couldn't have asked for a way to close that thing out. Big Don, my father-in-law, goes over to Rob and he goes, "How you doing?" Like after the round, he goes, "How you doing, man? You all right?" Like making Rob feel even worse. Rob's like, "It's a tough one, Don. I don't know what to tell you. I lost it for everybody."
Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, but what about those fears that don't involve zombies? And ghost therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them. Because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. BetterHelp. Foreplay is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Your mental health, don't work on your brain enough. We work on everything else. We work on our golf swing, work on our weight, work on our bodies. Should work on your brain as well.
We are brains. That's all we are. Mm-hmm. This is all a skeleton. It's the most important thing that we have. It makes the heart pump. It makes everything go. This is what is going on up here. It's the only thing you got to really work on. And if you start to slip and if this starts to go, everything else is going to go. You got to be on top of it. We worry so much about what we're eating and all of our physical attributes and what we're looking like. And are we going to have pecs and are we going to have nice leg muscles to show them off at the beach? But like really, man, like working out your brain and figuring, like actually taking the time to sit down and be like, where am I at right now? Where is my mental stability? Do I have it? Is it slipping? Do I need to talk to somebody? That's why BetterHelp is a business. This is why people have a job in this field. Like there's literally, this is a career path for people to help people with their brains. You're not too cool. You're not too strong to get help. That's not how it works. You've seen way too many horror stories about people that didn't get help. Go get it right now. You're listening to us. We're just a bunch of idiots and we know. Go get help.
Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/4 today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/4, BetterHelp.com/4.
But yeah, I know I've been rambling. I've been talking for like 20 minutes about this.
Great.
But again, I have videos of like just my dad like legitimately like tearing up, hugging my friends. I think it's just you realize as you get older and as people start to like get deteriorate and they get sicker and they start dying, people like in your family, it's just like you need to have memories with these people. And like that's all we can do is like make each day as good as we can make it. And if what I've been able to do in my life has been able to at least get us to a situation where we all can experience those things even once in a while, I'm going to do everything in my power to continue to do that. That I don't need to have any extra dollars in my bank account at the end of this life, as long as I've done what I thought that I had to do to make all these people have that life that I want everyone to have, like those experiences in life, right? I don't care what the hell you do for 362 other days, but when you're in my domain and we're going to be doing this, we're going to give this everything we got. We're going to care about it as much as we can care about. No one's going to get in fights. We're going to have the best time because we've all been best buddies and we've all been family for our entire lives. And we're all just going to experience this together. And we're going to want to do it the next year. And we're going to want to do it the year after. And we're going to want to, like reach out to our friends and our family and like send pictures and be like, do you remember this? And talk and like actually like communicate with people. It's just like, that's what it's all about. It's not about the golf. It's not about the hitting the shot in the hole. It's about everything around it. So that to me was, I know I always take things to the next level in seriousness, but it really was, man. Like there was a lot of things that really happened where you know, the Uncle Mark came up to me. He's like, he was able to play with his 2 sons at Paynes Valley and his brother. And he's like, I haven't played with these guys in years. Like you, like this was it, man. This was fucking awesome. So that's, that's a wrap. Big Cedar Lodge. If you're not making that your destination. Oh, do you guys see this thing? Are you able to see this like thing they gave me?
Oh, the Welcome Borelli
Look
group?
at this.
Yeah. I saw that. That was an unbelievable touch by them.
I did
We're
see
driving
that
to Ozark National, and this
they
is
gave
hanging.
it to you guys signed it. That's
and they made us sign it, and they sent
awesome.
it to my house. It was here the next day. We were playing Paynes Valley. It got to my house.
Dude, that's so
awesome.
cool.
This was hanging up in front for everyone to drive by. Like everyone that played that day drove by this. We were all able to sign it. So I have all 16 guys' signatures on here.
Dude, it's got like the Big Cedar like font on there too for the Borellis. That is sick. That
really
is
special stuff, man. They really
wow.
go above and beyond. So it's going to be hard to beat. I mean, I don't know how I'll ever go anywhere else. It's that good. So yeah, a lot of talking, a lot of plugging, but it's really it's a great time to be alive. It really is.
No, I think that people, I mean, this is a golf show, and I think that we talk a lot about golf trips, and I think people know I try to do as many golf trips as humanly possible, and I think that each time 100%. You go through those experiences, you really, really do realize just how fucking awesome it is, how much it means to everybody. And like we had this last week, we had all the boys down to the Pinehurst house. I had all the Greyhawk crew that we play like the Saturday game at. And it was very cool because Alistair, our boy, it was like his one off week basically of the year. He finished up, last week, devastation, the whole thing. But even he was saying to us, he's like, I've never really done a golf trip before. He was like, golf's like my life, my job. He plays golf, high school competitively, college competitively, Palmer, all kinds of different, stuff, places that he goes around the game of golf, but it's a grind. And he was like, I don't ever get to just go do a buddy's golf trip. And so being able to kind of see him experience the entire thing and how fun that is was fucking incredible throughout the week. And just to let go, be out there ripping shots that don't like really matter, having cocktails. It was an incredible, incredible week. So we were doing a pretty similar thing, but it is, I mean, dude, I think how much like people look forward to it. It's just kind of what you need day in and day out. People go to work, they're miserable. It's fucking grind. Everything could suck. Something to look forward to is very nice.
Yeah. You got to give people something to look forward to. I need something to look forward to in my, like, that's how I operate. I always need to be like, what are we striving for? Whether it be, and you take that with anything in business, in life, in relationships, whatever. It's like, what are we actually trying to achieve here? Because or else we're just sitting on our ass doing nothing. And I always bring it to that like nasty spot where it's like, we're on a floating rock and one day this thing's going to explode. Like we can't keep wasting time here, fellas. Like you got to do, and we're in a position it's almost like the wrong thing to do to not do this because of the position that we're in. We're in the fucking golf world. We're doing all these things. Big Cedar's excited for us to get there. I had to take advantage of it. You have to, or else you're just wasting it. So it's like, the Big E is 80 years old and he played 4 rounds of golf. And
that's great.
Through 9 holes of match 1, he was up 1 on me. I was giving him a shot a hole, and then on some of the holes he got 2. He ended up getting like 20 shots on. He got 21 shots on me, and he was up 1 through 9. I mean, that means he was making a ton of bogeys and like 5 for 4s, right? Like this guy's like shooting his age. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he sent me an email, which is incredible, and he's just like, I can't even believe that just happened. Like what a week. 80 years old. He can't wait for the next one. Like.
Yeah.
Unreal, man.
How good is that dinner at Top of the Rock?
The Osage, man. That place is nuts. Man. We had that one hell of a waiter that was just like, he went to the Disney school or something. Like he was fucking on top of it. And he was he actually said, man, after everything. He goes, you know what, man? I'm going to tell you about this old fashioned, man. And I'm going to really get into the nitty gritty of it. And like he just described these old fashions. He's like, you know what, man? We actually take an extract from Guinness, man. Like you wouldn't even believe that. And we're like, holy shit. So yeah, it was amazing. And yeah, it's definitely a big trip. It's definitely not like the cheapest trip of all time. So like, I don't want everyone to think that like, it's definitely not. Like I'm not lying about that. Like it is expensive golf. It is, you're staying at these lodges. It is crazy, but I also gave guys like a year in advance. I think that's how everyone should really do it. You got to book it where you're like, hey, this is what we're doing. And whoever wants to make it can make it. We're going to be putting money away, whatever it might be. Like you stash whatever each week, each month, and you just get ready for this thing. And that's what all my buddies did. That's what we were doing, where we're like, this is for golf. Like this is for October. We're going to use this when we go to Big Cedar Lodge. And that's the best way to do it. It's almost like going to a casino where you're like, I know I need this money going to this thing and I ain't leaving without it. I am leaving without it, but I'm going to leave with a lot of memories. And that's, ton of fun, man. Just, and not, like I said, with all these signatures, like I look here, it's like, I'll never forget who was on this trip. So really cool.
Awesome, man.
Every group needs a guy too. You got to be, you kind of
not
need
easy, dude.
A ringleader. It's not easy.
Oh my God. Shout out to you for doing this all the time. Like, and I was starting to get frustrated and they could tell like people were, because I was the guy that set it up. They're asking me questions that they should just know the answers to. Like at one point, one of my buddies goes, are we allowed to stand here and watch the other groups come in? And I was like, Andrew, like, I think so. I was like, I don't know, but like, I'm going to stand here with you because I don't work here. And like, I just happened to like send you the right flight information. He was just cracking up. He's like, I've been asking you way too many questions this week because like they're all walking on eggshells of like, we can't believe we're at this resort. This is insane. So yeah, unbelievable. Big Cedar Lodge is fucking insane. Those guys, and they're building I don't know if it's public information. I think it is. They're building another 18-hole golf course there.
It's insane.
I don't know if it was rumored to be Tiger again. I don't know.
Ooh, we like Tiger. I'm a big Tiger fan.
That could be a complete lie, but the new par 3 is insane. Cliffhangers. Like, I don't know how many railings they're going to end up building at this thing, but like I saw some tee boxes that I know someone will like fall off.
I think we saw them building that when we were there 2 years ago.
Dude, it has changed the landscape of Paynes Valley. Like, you can't, when you're coming up, like the whole entire back nine, you can't believe that that's what it's going to look like all green behind it. Because you remember, it was just like a big dirt patch behind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh,
like that whole
weird.
face, the whole side there.
Yeah, that whole face had nothing. And now it's ridiculous.
Is Osage the restaurant where they would like hang T-bone steaks and grill them that way? Did we have that one night?
Yeah.
Yep.
That place is fucking
This
awesome.
is from like Buffalo Ridge, and you can see like half of it is dirt, but like those little mounds that are going up, that's all going to be par 3 golf course all the way up to the top. Ridiculous.
That's going to be outrageous.
Yeah.
That's going to be outrageous.
Listen,
good
man,
times.
As long as Mr. Brelly's happy, I'm happy. And you know, it's as long as he had a good time, I'm thrilled.
Guy's ordering he was ordering tequila, pineapples with splashes of cranberry on the golf course.
Legend.
Yeah, he was. There was a great one of the pictures that you posted was like your dad on like a bridge looking at like a waterfall or something. It just said, "This is the best day of my entire life."
That dude, that was me and him played at the first round, and like there was so much hype going into it. Like he knew how much I was stressing about everything going well. By the way, it was 77 degrees and sunny with not one cloud for 4 straight days. And he put his arm around me after one of the greens and at Ozarks National, and he's like, "Frank, this is one of the best days of my life." And I don't know if he was saying that to make me just like happy and just relax that like everything was kind of going well, but he seemed to be like pretty genuine about it because he had a tear in his eye. He was making transfusions and topping them off with tequila. He was walking around with a bottle that he had gotten at the brewery that also made tequila, and he was just topping people's drinks off. I'm like, "Dad, you're also like you're like recovering from heart surgery, so like let's just pipe down on all this stuff." And he's just like drinking all these drinks. He had the time of his life, man. Like, yeah, it was just it was incredible. And the text messages I got, I have a great group of friends and family. Like I have a really, really good group that, like, you know, not one person took it for granted, and they all were so appreciative, and they all like loved each other so much. It was special. Like the text messages I got after were shocking. Like the long, like very, very detailed, like talking about the memories with their dads and whatever. It was cool. It was really cool. It was cool.
You crushed it.
Hell yeah.
You crushed it.
You did crush it. Good job. Where are you guys going
to go? The weather part is nerve-wracking, man.
Oh, yeah.
You never know what's going to come, right? Like it could be a hurt. Like think about how many people just get things just like ruined, right? Like rain just comes in for a whole entire week. Like I don't even know what you do. You just say sorry to everyone. It's just over.
I feel bad whenever I see those at like Bandon. Somebody will go out to Bandon for their trip that they've 2 years build up. Everybody saved. You go out there and it just rains sideways and it's like 48 degrees the whole time. You're like, fuck me.
Not good.
But yeah. Good work, Frankie. Congratulations. You should get a little pat on the back for putting all that together.
Yeah, no,
it's
I feel
not
good.
easy. Simplified travel with Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar. This is a 5-ounce bar that does the work of a shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. You can also use it to create a rich shaving lather. So technically, we're talking about 5-in-1. We got a 5-in-1 item here. It's clinically proven to control odor for 24 hours. Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar formulated with a gentle alpha hydroxy acid that stops odor at the source. You can't have odor. You know, you just got to smell good out there. That's a fact.
Yeah, you do, especially in this time now where everyone's wearing layers and you're kind of like sweating under there.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll come out quick, man. Like you take that jacket off, you get to the bar, you put it on the back of the seat, you're wearing the t-shirt underneath, you've just been wearing a scarf, a hoodie, a jacket. There's a lot of moisture going on under there, and you got to make sure that you've been prepared since the time that you stepped outside of the shower. I got this Mando thing sent to me. I didn't know that it was all of that. So this little advertisement here that you just read, is really great because I didn't really know that it was one and all. I mean, I'm going to take a look into this and see what's going on because that sounds like innovation at its finest.
Well, Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, we got a discount code to help you get hooked up on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use the code 4 at shopmando.com. That is SHOPMANDO.com. You're going to get 40% off by using the code 4 shopmando.com. We got a lefty. We got another lefty on PGA Tour that won today.
Who won today?
McCarty.
Oh.
See that guy, that
Very
lefty?
nice.
He's won like 4 times. He won a bunch of Corn Ferry Tour events. Wild course in Utah. I didn't get to watch a ton of it because
hold on now.
Pinehurst
This isn't the guy that we ran
time.
into. Let me see. What's his name?
McCarty. Matt McCarty.
Oh no.
Got nice, appealing lefty swing, man. Oh, our boy Kiz, I saw shot 9 over. A little bit of a miscut there for our guy. Hate to see that. Feel for Kiz. We had him on last week. He's all fired up. He's talking about how he's not going to go out that way. And I'd love to see him play some great golf. This golf course is pretty damn cool. I don't know if you guys, again, saw much of it, but new golf course in Utah. Beautiful visuals. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the BMW when they're at Colorado, just like seeing new golf courses and not just standard TBC golf courses. Something that I kind of like to see out there and that I thought felt pretty good. I had I saw one great quote too from Malnati hit one. He hit 2 balls out of bounds and then hold out from like 170 yards to make a double. And his quote was just, "Golf sucks so bad." That's what he said, which I felt that very much. All right, we got a couple from the galleries. If you guys want to rip through a few of these bad boys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Scott says, "What is an underrated amenity at a golf course? My favorite course ever is Elk River Golf Club in Banner Elk, North Carolina. They have an air pump by the cart return to blow off your shoes and get the grass out of the spikes post round, which the only time I think I've ever seen that is at the Pebble Beach courses. They have that as well. But that is a fantastic amenity because you get all the grass out and all that, and then they do that little extra special move where they just put it inside your sock and really clears that bad boy out. But that is actually a fantastic one if nobody's seen that before.
That's a great one. I'm trying to think like more resorty, but like when you go to the putting green and they have those little tee markers that have the drink holder on them. That's a nice one. That's nice because it always feels like they put a little bit extra effort into like your experience when you do something like that. They know that you're going to have a drink in your hand, that you want to put your drink somewhere. It's not going to be on the green. That's a nice little amenity, but that's, like I said, more resort golf course. I'm trying to think of anything else. Any golf course that has the GPS that doesn't have the beeping and the turning off of the golf carts, I would say.
Yeah.
Those are starting to get a little haywire.
Whenever you got a reverse.
I know like they're there for a reason, and people do abuse like where they drive the golf carts. You know, like not everybody's like Donald Trump driving them across the green and shit. Like you shouldn't be driving them wherever you want. But some of them are just they're a little wrong. Like you actually look at the red place at the fence that they draw, and it's just like, where do you want me to drive this thing at some point? Yeah. We had that actually happen to us at Big Cedar where it was on the cart path by a tee box and all of our carts just wouldn't go forward. And we were like, we didn't know what to do. If you went backwards, you actually went off a cliff. So we were all just like dying laughing, being like, there is no option here. Like we ended up having to push them all into a spot that they would turn on.
That is a sneaky great part about Big Cedar is that it's golf carts, because a lot of these resorts are not golf carts.
I think it might be the number one amenity there.
Oh, dude, it catches up to you. And these places are great. You go to Scotland, you go Ireland, you go to Bandon, you go all over, and they're really, really, really awesome. But man, as you get older, just walking and the drinking and eventually not sleeping, and you're just like, I need to get my ass in a fucking golf cart, man.
You decide that you're going to cut out a certain percent of the population. Big E, probably not out there if there's no carts. You know what I mean? Like, and that sucks because you want everybody to experience it. I get why places don't have it. And we've been to places that don't have carts and they're fucking incredible. But when you have carts, you bring in a demographic that otherwise would be not on the trip.
There were a couple holes that were cart path only, and you could just it was everyone's worst, most ridiculous hole that they had the whole entire day. And we were saying to each other, like, can you imagine if this was all day long? Like, can you even imagine if we had to walk out here, hit the ball, and then walk up to the green? Like, walking out there, walking back to the cart and going to the next ball was a disaster for people.
Yep. It was a nightmare.
Don got up to the green. He looked at me like out of the corner of his eye and he goes, "That one just set me back." That one just set me back. I'm going to pay for that tomorrow. Like, it was one hole.
I don't know if it's an amenity, but I like a bell on a golf course when you clear the fairway. I feel like we saw that a lot in Scotland. Blind tee shots.
Yep.
I like a bell.
There's
ring the bell.
There's a bell. There's a couple bells at Tobacco Road. We were there this past weekend. They got a couple nice bells. There's all those blind shots. Feels good.
How do you guys feel about a golf course that has like the 150 marker right dab in the middle of the fairway? The little white and black marker.
I like it. I like it as a nice reference point because I feel like that's sort of the target. Somebody said that to me this past weekend. They were like, if I can hit a tee shot and it ends up about 150 yards out, whatever club that is that I need to hit off the tee to get myself to there, that's kind of the goal. Because then you're hitting like a 9 or an 8 iron or something. You're reasonably in play. So I do think that little marker gives you a pretty good reference point.
Are you not liking the placement of it, Frankie? Or do you want it to be on the side?
I think it's great. I wish every single golf course had it. I don't know if we're going to consider that an amenity, but I do think that it is far and few between. You don't see it that often. When you do, it seems to be the focal point of the hole. Like, it's the conversation piece on the tee box. It's the conversation piece of the next shot. If on a par 5, like, you're constantly saying, hey, the 150 is right there. Let's just get it within that. Or if you hit a 3-wood, the 150 is right there. You're going to be fine in your next shot. I know for my dad, like, whenever we'll play a golf course with that, that's all he's looking at is like, how am I going to get it inside that? Because he can't hit his irons well. So he's like, I just need to get in there because I can't 160, 170, 180, 190. You're asking me to hit a ridiculous club into a green. And I noticed like a couple of golf courses do have that. It is nice to see that. I know that aesthetically, it's not the best thing to be looking at. You know, you're not going to go out to like an Erin Hills and see all these posts in the middle of the fairway, but I don't know, man. I think it does help a lot of the average golfers.
They had that at the golf course we played with Noah Khan. We were talking about him all day
long,
all day.
Noah was right at the 150 that was his mark. Point to really. He's like, as long as I'm in that 150, I'm fine.
Yep, 100%.
I like when they got a nice. I like when they got a nice display of all of the little stuff that you're going to need on the first tee. They'll have a couple Sharpies in there. Like Erin Hills does a really good job of that. They'll have a couple Sharpies. You can mark your ball. They got their own custom tees. They got their own. It's just like a nice final stop before you head off on this journey. And it's like, make sure you got everything you need. Grab it. It's displayed nicely, and you can roll back. So I think that's kind of a nice amenity. But yeah, the air gun is that's a great call.
It's great. Big Cedar Lodge they put $1 trillion into this place. I think they need to get pencils for each golf course. You can't just say Big Cedar Lodge at every single spot. Can't.
Mm-hmm.
What was the golf course? Guys. What's the golf course that has, it's not tee boxes, it's stakes, and you can tee up on either side of it?
That was Forest Dunes.
I love that
reversible course.
That might be the next spot that I go with the buddies trip. We were all sitting on the shuttle to the airport, and they're like, where are we going next? I said, I want to do Big Cedar again. If we don't do Big Cedar again, I said, I got this place in Michigan that is it's not this, right? Like, it's not like the most ridiculous over the top looking at the Lake of the Ozarks, like the whole deal, but it's going to be one hell of a time. Like, it's a top golf course in Michigan. That Forest Dunes, the main golf course, is I think it's a top 10 course in Michigan. If you on their website, it has some sort of number on it. And then the Loop is one of the more unique, incredible golf courses you'll play, and you can take golf carts with it. Again, you could stay on the property. You can have all the fires. You can do night golf.
Bootlegger?
Yeah.
Great par 3, yep.
Do it. That'd be a good one. The Loop, I would love to play the Loop again. And Forest Dunes.
You fly into Traverse City, which is a great little town. You could even spend the night there. The cherry awesome capital of the world.
Little lake town.
Cherries everywhere. You got the lakes. It's a good spot. It is a good spot. I may have shot my load with Big Cedar. You know, there are guys like the Big E might be like, where is my chariot? You know what I mean? Like, what? where is the greatest view of a golf course I've ever seen in my entire life? Like, I think the next one I got taken was like Pebble or so. I don't know where else to go from that. But we'll see.
Me and the St. Louis boys are doing Arcadia Bluffs next year. Which
that's
similar.
Also a great Michigan one.
Traverse City, they got 2 courses.
You take carts?
Take carts.
Wow.
I got 2 courses. One of them's on the water on Lake Michigan there. I played there once. We had a couple folks from our crew that we work with. We played out there after the Barstool Classic at Grand Traverse last year. We went out there and played in the morning, and that was probably Arcadia, the number 1 recommended golf course for years and years and years by people that I had just never been to before, and it delivered. It was basically Pebble Beach. I mean, it is on the lake. It is stunning. They've got this awesome clubhouse. It almost reminds me of kind of like Shinnecock. It's like up on the hill overlooking everything. And then they've got a second course that is supposed to be more of like a architecture geeks kind of course, that it's like up kind of in this little field pasture that's not necessarily on the water, but that's supposed to have more of the template holes and the whole deal. And then they've got cottages. So when we were there last year, I remember being like, what's the deal to book? Because they've got like 6 or something cottages that are 4-bedroom cottages. And then they've got a hotel with a couple rooms that overlook the lake. And I remember them being like, you got to book it like 2 years out. So I legitimately booked it for last summer when I was there. And now that's just like future us is going to have that next year. But that's one that I'm unbelievably excited to get to because they got golf carts, beautiful golf courses. I think they're adding a part 3 too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't locked anything in. That sounds real good too. I mean, there's so many out there. There's so many great options.
With football season in full swing, this is the perfect time to talk about the MVP of golf carts, Easy Go vehicles. I wouldn't want a golf cart that's benched at halftime, and that's exactly what you're going to get with any other brand outside of Easy Go. Just being in a golf cart, I have one down in Pinehurst. 2 weeks I spent down there. You go get coffee, you go to the bar, you go up to the main clubhouse, you just hop in your Easy Go, and it's awesome. Easy Go does it better than anybody else, and you're going to want Trent's. I know Trent's thinking about it now that he's a Florida guy. You're going to want a golf cart. You're going to want to spend as much time on a golf cart as you possibly can. Easy Go is the best golf cart maker in the world.
I'm getting one of these. Wow. For sure getting one of these. There's a cute little coffee shop about, half a mile away that I can already picture myself pulling up in an Easy Go cart to that thing.
Are you seeing golf carts fly around? Oh, so you got to get one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't know if it was that type of area because there's areas that are, there's areas that aren't. And I waited to see if there were golf carts ripping around, and there definitely are. So, yeah, I've been looking into it. You can customize these things, your own color, your own accessories, everything you want on this thing. You can do it on the website, and then you order it, and then you get it, and then you drive around, and you feel cool because you are cool. Easy Go carts. If you're in the position to do that in that type of neighborhood, you got to do it.
We take it for granted that that's just our form of transportation when we play the game of golf. Like it's just something that is attached to your golf bag, and then you take that from your tee ball to your next shot. And then when you take it out of that setting and you put it in like at Big Cedar, like if you're going from like a cottage to wherever, or if you're at your home in Florida or in Pinehurst, and you're taking it from a home to a restaurant or a home to a coffee shop or a coffee shop to a friend's house. It's the coolest form of transportation in the world. It's not it feels kind of mundane on a golf course. You're like, oh, it's just a golf course that has golf carts. But at a home where it's customized with the big wheels and you got the wind whipping, you got the leather seats, you've got the music playing. Who needs a car? I mean, you do need a car, but like as an accessory, as a secondary version of being able to go everywhere, that's great to me.
It's a lifestyle, dude.
Yeah, it really is a lifestyle.
Jimmy Buffett.
It's super easy. All you got to do is visit barstoolclassic.com/easygosweeps, by the way, and enter for a chance to win. We're giving away to one of our listeners. We're giving away a golf cart. So all you got to do is go to barstoolclassic.com/easygosweeps to enter to win a brand new Easy Go Express S4.
It's a good time to be a guy wanting to go on a golf buddies trip.
We talked about this on the trip. I said, again, I got a little emotional with one of the guys. I put my arm around him. I said, do you realize that we are at the beginning of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 150 years, people will go to Paynes Valley and Big Cedar Lodge and they'll play Paynes Valley, and it'll be like this historical golf course that has had all these great memories, and all these great pros have played there in matches. And like all this money was poured into it. It's probably, hopefully the country's still around by then, but who knows what Big Cedar will look like by then. And I was like, dude, we're looking around and they're moving dirt still. Like they're still building it. Like like the cliffhangers is still being built. We're watching them put the grass in like this. We're here year one, like, and that's happening all across the country. Like you talk about Cabot Citrus Farms in Florida, like that just opened. That might be that in 20 years, that might be one of the best golf courses in the country. You know what I mean? Like you don't know where these are going to go. These places are just, I mean, they haven't even built the one in Denver yet. It's
crazy. They're
abandoned dunes
all over the place. Rodeo
abandoned
dunes, I think that one's called.
Oh, did Ohtani just hit a home run against the Mets? No, it went off the top of the wall. Yeah, no, just incredible. We're at the beginning. We are at the infancy of golf travel. Now that means that everything's even more expensive because it's at of such a premium. You know what I mean? They're just opening up. They're all sold out, but the future looks great for the average golfer because you're going to have so many places to go to. They're all going to be completely built that you would think that everything would kind of average out at some point where they're going to want more people to come to them. Right now, they're so sold out because yes, there are a lot, but they're all like at such a high demand. You know what I mean?
There's not enough for how many golfers there are.
There is not, no, which is crazy. No. I mean, if you look online, there's a lot of options, but there's not that many options. There are a lot of options if you want to build out your own trip. Like,
yeah, but if you want just like a turnkey, almost like you show up, stay and play, many. There's not that many that do that. Bandon was kind of the first of this kind of new era because I think it was like the late 90s. And I believe that it was like Mike Kaiser's quote was like, he said something along the lines of like, well, if nobody shows up, at least we'll have a cool golf course for a couple of years. And then now Bandon Dunes obviously has 5 courses and they've repeated that model all the time. But like to be like, we're going to go to this remote part of the country and build all these awesome golf courses and people are going to come was a crazy idea at the time.
Right.
To think about, like, you would never go to Springfield, Missouri. You wouldn't be flying into Springfield, Missouri. And then you get to see this incredibly cool part of the country, the Ozarks, Table Rock Lake. You're just like, what? And I think that part of it's so cool too. Like us going up. And when we did do Forest Dunes, it's like we did a day before where it's like, or we did a couple different days. We were like out on, remember that we had that night out on the beach at like on Lake Michigan. And you're like, dude, we're like in Traverse City on the beach.
We played Bailey Farms.
Shout out to those boys.
And we're there just because of golf. You know, it like brings you to that part of the country. You get to see stuff you would never get to see. You make friends there that you stay in touch with. It's like, that's fucking golf, man. That's what's so cool about this stuff.
But like you go online and you type in golf resorts in America and you kind of go through the list and there are a bunch, but like for what I just described of Big Cedar and you've got the stream songs and the band and there, and then you're like, which ones have golf carts? Which ones can you stay at the resort? And it starts to dwindle down where it's like, all right, we only have, let's call it 6 realistic choices. Right. And they're all extremely hard to get to or expensive, or you have to book a year or two in advance. Right now, it is kind of just a little bit too early for everyone to be experiencing it. I do hope that in 20, 30 years, when these golf courses are 20 years old, 30 years old, you would assume that they'd have more room, more golf courses, more hotels, more hospitality, and more room for everybody. So, I mean, I'm certainly not complaining about it. I love being able to go to them, but I just hope that, it just keeps growing. As golf keeps growing, these will keep popping up for sure. But you also can build out your own. You don't have to do the biggest things. You can go to a Myrtle Beach and stay in a hotel and play like 10 incredible golf courses, and it's affordable and it's the best time. We did it. I mean, Caledonia, True Blue, all these courses were insane. The Pete Dye course, like if you string together 3 or 4 of those, that's as good as it gets. So you can go to West Virginia and like get a cabin and like just play awesome golf courses around there. You can go do the Alabama Trail and you can go do that like Robert Trent Jones Trail, right? Like that's all like 6 or 7 golf courses where you could stay and play. So
turnkey is the difference. Like Greg said, turnkey, like get there, you're done.
Well, it's the difference between going to like Disney or going like camping, where like one's like a little bit more work and you got to like kind of do your own thing. You got to get your own lodging and then you're going to go experience all of the nature stuff. Or you go to the one where like there's someone waiting there to grab your luggage and they bring you in and they're like, here's your golf cart. It's just different. It's a different experience, but they're both out there.
And it just requires a hell of a amount of research if you're not going to do the thing where you just go to that resort and stay there. And if somebody's willing to do that, you got like a ringleader of the group that's willing to put all that effort in, you could book a hell of a trip and it can cost a third of what it might cost to go to a Big Cedar or Pinehurst or Bandon or whatever it might be. But that does take a lot of work. You got to figure out all the transportation. You got to have different Airbnbs or whatever lined up. Like it's not overly easy, but I'm with you where I think a lot of the theme of the whole show is like, if you're listening to this show and you're sitting there and you and your buddies have thought about doing a trip before, you've thought about trying to rally everybody together, do it. Just figure out a way to do it.
Go anywhere.
You could do a trip on almost any budget if you work hard at it and you do a bunch of research. And I remember, I guess it was 6 years or so ago now, when I kind of reached out to each one of my buddies from St. Louis. We have 12 guys on the trip now, but just being like, hey, dude, I get to play all this, exactly what you just went through. It's like, I get to play all this insane golf on the internet for a living. You guys have to watch me. I think I can use our connections to get us a pretty good setup at a cool golf resort. If you guys would like to do a trip. And every guy was like, yep. And then it's done. Like, this is what it's going to cost. This is what we're going next year. You can start saving up now. And now we're 6 years in. We got a whole packet with all the history. We've got the result from every match that's ever been played is like on this packet that we send out, and it's just the best, and people live for it. So best. I do think that's the theme. Get out and play. Get out and do a trip.
Get that trip out of the group chat. I see that a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that. Get the trip
out of the group chat.
That's nice.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Fore-play Tracker says, our good friend Fore-play Tracker, he says, island greens are not islands. I've thought about this a lot prior to you guys bringing it up on the podcast. It has kept me up at night for months. Islands are land masses completely surrounded by water. Peninsulas are land masses almost entirely surrounded by water. They should be called peninsula greens unless you have to take a boat or there is a bridge.
What's that? What is it called? Coeur d'Alene or whatever?
Yeah, I was going to say there's that one golf course. Is it on tour where they have to take a boat out there?
It's on our tour. I think we're going. Are we doing the Barstool Classic there?
I think we're doing a Barstool Classic stop at Coeur d'Alene next year. My parents went
take a
there
boat
for
to the green.
Little vacation last year. They said it was awesome.
The island green.
Are we going to be rowing people out there? Is that going to be our job?
I think they have a whole system. I think they drive you out there. They bring you to the green. They take you back to the tee box.
I think they move that green too. Like I think it changes yardages. Like I think it's awesome. Actual island that they move around.
It's not just the tee boxes.
Dude, there were so many things there were so many things that blew everybody's mind, especially the older guys like Don and his brother and everyone. Like we're looking out of the window at Big Cedar, like how many things that this place had to do to like get the golf course. Like there's these huge tunnels that they were paying attention to, and like all the water fixtures to like get these rivers. Like they're all like fake rivers, and like they couldn't believe all this stuff. And going to the cabin the first night, like getting to our cottage, which was an insane cottage. It was unbelievable. It was like 3 of them right next to each other. There was this big like Chevy Tahoe right in the middle of a pond, like floating, like clearly on like a glass platform, but like sunken in. So like you drove past and the sun was setting, and Don's like, look at that fucking Chevy out there, man. How do they fucking do this, man? And like everyone's taking pictures of this thing. We're like, holy shit, man. Like everything. Oh,
that place.
Technically, they're all pretty much peninsula greens, but that's not as fun to say. Like
no, peninsula is not the same.
It's a peninsula. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's gonna keep me up at night. I mean, it's definitely. I understand what they're saying, right? Like it is an island, kind of like it looks like one. You got to get to it.
But it's what he's saying is it's not an island, which by definition is true.
Right. We're going to an island.
Why don't they just put a little bridge on all of these and just get rid of that little grass peninsula part? Put a little bridge.
That I like.
Okay. You know?
Yeah.
I really like Sawgrass should do that.
Like, why does Sawgrass have grass there? Just replace that with a little bridge.
Be a cool ass bridge you could build there too.
It's really not that long.
It's a short walk. And people always end up on that peninsula.
Are they nervous about losing the green? Do you start to lose the green if you lose that? The integrity of the green?
Remember we played against Billy Horschel and they were kind of like fixing the green? Remember the back part of it had like a little bridge thing? On the edge? So I don't know if that thing's hard to keep in good shape.
I wonder about the integrity of the actual island if you remove that part that's connected to the rest of the land. If you cut that off, does that
it's going to float away?
Does it float away?
You got to think they'd be able to put something in the base of it.
Pretty solid there. If it just floated away. Imagine that. They come out there in the morning and that green is just over by the 16th green.
How do they get those How do they get bridges to like lock into something?
Bridges are special.
Just like the George Washington Bridge, or like, the Triborough Bridge.
I don't know. I'd have to watch like a documentary on it that I'm sure exists. But isn't it just cement really deep into the ground?
Yeah, but like you'd think that it's not like you're never actually finding anything solid down there, right?
No.
Like, how do you officially be like, this is good enough? Like this, that ain't going
Millions
nowhere.
of people are going to cross this thing every year. We're good.
Right. You just knock on it. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. That's perfect.
Going nowhere. It's like hanging
There's
up a TV.
They've got to have it down to a science at this point, because I think bridges have been around for a long fucking time.
Yeah. It's amazing when you see them, though. Did you guys see the video of the Midtown Tunnel? Had all the water coming down?
You showed me this.
That is over for me. The water was pouring into the Midtown Tunnel because someone was doing work above it and struck like a water line, and all the water started to rush into this tunnel. People were just in traffic watching inside the tunnel underneath the river going into Manhattan.
That's one of the great fears of all time, right? Just being stuck in that fucking tunnel when that happens.
It's the fear.
The word I would use for that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
You can't. I would freak the fuck out.
And dude, the guy taking the video just started to put his windshield wipers on. He's like, this is crazy. It's like, dude, you got to get out of there now.
Makes me think of the Titanic, like when they were just in the basement and the pipes just start bursting and it's over.
Summer is all about the freedom to have fun. You don't need to blow your budget, do some big trip to make the most of it, because you can forget having to do a vacation, and you can take a tequila-cation with the new Truly tequila sodas. All summer we've been witnessing this. All fall we're witnessing it. People are out at the Barstool Classic having a great time. They're enjoying the 4 refreshing, delicious flavors of the new Truly tequila sodas: lime, pineapple, guava, grapefruit, watermelon, all 5% ABV and just 100 calories. Tequila-cation. These things are delicious. Delicious.
Refreshing, delicious. Yep. The perfect on golf course drink. And then you can even, as I told you last week, my father-in-law came home after the Barstool Classic and he got himself a bunch of Truly tequilas. He put them in a little koozie. He put them in a little cooler with a koozie, and he's sitting on the couch watching football. I'm like, what are you drinking over there? Truly tequila soda. He was hooked. He's like, I couldn't believe how refreshing they were, how tasty they were. This is not a lie. This is a dead honest truth. And they're great. I mean, we've been partners with these guys for years at the Barstool Classic. Never had a single issue with how well people have enjoyed them and how tasty they actually are. And they're only getting better. That is a fact.
They really are. They just nailed it. Truly nailed it. The tequilas are awesome. So give them a try. Trust me. Truly tequila soda. Keep it light. Hard seltzer beverage company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly.
I actually meant to send this to Nate because our guy Nate loves the Titanic, but he loves to like remember it. There's nothing he's very serious about it.
It's not a laughing matter to him. It's not a laughing matter in general, but I'm saying he's like, people died that day.
It's a insane tragedy. I mean, yes, it really is. But there was one, I can't believe I forgot to send this to him. He's definitely seen it. There was like a party, like a kids party at this place, and they did like the Titanic ride, and basically you sat on a ledge and then the ledge would go up, and it was like, who can stay up top without falling down to the water? And all the comments are like, how many years have to go by for you to start like doing tragedies of like, you know what I mean? Like it could get really.
What tragedy are you thinking of?
No,
Frankie?
I'm just saying, like, it's just, you know what I mean?
Like it's 100 years, I guess.
It's as bad as it gets. And like those people should be put in jail. You can't joke about that.
For whatever reason, we've gotten so far away from the Titanic, and there's been obviously a gigantic movie made about it, that people, it seems like people are like down to like poke fun at it, but it's like, damn, a lot of people died.
Horrible death. Horrible. Freezing to death out there.
Thousands, right? Thousands.
Oh, yeah. I think like,
was it like 1,900 people? 1,500 people?
1,500.
God. You can't have a kids party being like, who can stay up top? Dude, you got to see this video. I don't know if Alex has it. It's really bad. It's really bad.
That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's not in.
It's like a Titanic, like survival child's birthday party theme. It's like as bad as it gets.
It's out.
It's hard to say without laughing because of how bad that is.
It's terrible. Nope.
He's not going to find it. It is what it is. He's gearing up for the Bills tomorrow.
Yeah, he is.
He's gravy.
Distracted. All right, I'll see you guys in Hawaii.
Anything else? You guys got anything else? What else has been going on this last week? I missed everything.
Not a ton.
Not too much. Just kind of holding it down. Yeah. Excited to get to Hawaii. Play a little golf.
Last plug I'll give last couple plugs I'll give here is a lot of people ask me how I made those hats. I had my own logo on a hat and I had Big Cedar on the side. We've talked about this a lot in advertisements. Imperial hats, you can actually go on the website and make them yourself. You pick the hat, you pick the trim, you pick the height of the crown that you want, and then you put a logo in there and you can center it and you can remove the background, and it's affordable and it's incredible, and you bake it into the price of your trip. Like, just tell everyone, hey, it's going to be whatever it might be. It's going to be $30, $40, and whatever you want to divvy it up, however you want to divvy it up. And you have custom hats that come to you so fast and they're ready for your golf trip. Do this. I'm telling you, that is a game changer. Like having a logo, having the golf course that you're attending, having the year on there, on a hat, on a nice hat that's going to fit everyone. It's the most comfortable hat that you can have. Do that. Like, I'm telling you, that was a game changer. That and Peter Millar being able to customize the logo on the Peter Millars, because giving someone a Peter Millar shirt is like the greatest gift in golf. Like, them opening that up, because like you'd think that it'd just be some like raggedy old shirt like for a golf trip, and they open up a Peter Millar one. They're like, they give you that twinkle in their eye. Like, are you kidding me? Peter Millar. Don wasn't happy. I gave him Team White. He's like, you guys got a cool color. I was Team White. I was like,
Don, damn,
they look clean. They look clean.
Just be happy.
They looked clean.
Trip.
They looked real clean.
All right. Well,
that's it, man. That's all I got, I guess. Islanders are 0-1-1. Goal scoring issues.
Our Hawkeyes won, which was nice.
Attaboy, Trent.
Nice.
Congrats.
Felt good after getting the doors blown off by Ohio State.
That was a nice win. That was good. In the midst of a lot of really good football yesterday, that was a nice win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Ohio State lost, so it is what it is.
It's huge. All right, boys. Well, safe travels. Safe travels. See
you tomorrow.
And battle through this. We'll see you in Hawaii. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.